Okay, hello one and all, welcome along to Agile NZ TV Live. I'm joined here by Garth Hamilton, who is CEO of Assurity, who's the primary sponsor and organizer of this conference. Garth, welcome along, how are you doing today?
I'm very good, thanks
Very
Adam.
good.
It's looking out there and looking at the vibe and looking at the energy in the room, you've got to feel pretty good.
Things are going well. So what is it that you get out of and that Assurity gets out of making this conference happen? What's in it for you and what's the goal with this conference?
Well, the goal came from, we have a real desire to help companies in New Zealand get better outcomes from software development. We really get that Agile can make a difference. But you look around New Zealand, there's a need to win the battle for hearts and minds, to really show people what can be done, particularly what's happening in other parts of the world, but also what's happening in New Zealand, and get people sharing and caring, I guess. And I think this conference is just a really good way of getting people coming together and talking about what is working and maybe what's not working.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bringing ideas together and just getting conversations happening.
Absolutely, and I think if you look at it, maybe some of the real energy is just in the networking
Absolutely.
that's going on right now. As
always
we look
the
out
case.
into
It's the background noise of this conversation.
It's great.
Cool. So I guess how do you see the current state of software development in New Zealand, and in particular, how does Agile fit into that picture at the moment?
Oof.
It's a big question, I know.
Look, I think we've had this awareness for a long time that New Zealand can be very insular in its approaches to things. If we look at our productivity as a country, it is way behind where it should be, and a lot of it is just because we do not pick up on ideas. And I think Agile is such a powerful idea, and yet people still don't sort of pick up on it. And so, I think we're way behind the world in software development. We're really good at some things. We're really good with small teams, but we're not good when it comes to big pieces of software. Yeah. And so I think Agile has a huge part to play, and I think we're starting to understand what it means, but I think even today, looking at the audience, those who are practicing Agile understand the journey's a long one. There's still a long way to go. So, yeah.
So what is it that you see as the biggest challenge to that transformation towards Agile that we've got to overcome?
Yeah, and I think for me, if I look around the room, what we're seeing is a lot of people who are living and breathing Agile at a team level. What I'm not seeing is commitment from organisations from the top down to really change the way they do things, and particularly to become Agile enterprises. Yeah. We have Agile teams, we need Agile enterprises. And we need to see CEOs, COOs, particularly the big banks and some of the government departments, coming along and actually seeing what's happening here and getting it for themselves. I think what's our slogan today? It's be transformational rather than talking it.
Yeah. Nice. And how do you see that sort of changing into the future? What are we doing to sort of help that along in what we're doing today and in what we're doing in other areas? How does that change?
The questions go from hard to really hard. Look, at the moment it's still about awareness, I think. It's sharing, it's getting a lot of people who are really enthusiastic about what they can achieve, going home back to their companies and really talking about what can be done. I think there is a need though to get CEOs together and to get COOs together and to actually start sharing experiences too. So maybe that's the next step, is to really encourage our own managers to come together and start understanding what we're seeing here. Yeah. And I think if they don't, I think it's going to be forced on us, but I hope we can beat that, that pressure and actually voluntarily start doing this before the world catches up and says, you've got to do it. Yeah.
Nice. I guess one last question. I've been a part of Assurity's journey in taking on Agile and sort of working it into what we do. And I remember that starting to happen. What was it that for you, what was your transformation moment that really triggered that thinking within Assurity?
For me, I think it was very much just being the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff over and over again. People asking us to come in and help them on their projects, but really asking us to come in when it's too late. And picking up the pieces on a project is just no fun whatsoever. So, move left, that was the whole thing, is how do we make life more enjoyable for our staff on projects? And waterfall was not the answer. We had to have our clients go Agile for us to enjoy what we were doing. And that just started a whole way of thinking for me, I guess, which is still ongoing.
Absolutely. It's a long journey, but we're on that path, so that's good.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Garth, thank you so much for your time and for talking to us, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
I certainly will do.
Cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Thanks very much. Cheers.